Let's try this again. So hopefully this is working. Welcome back to my channel, Wrenching with Rob. If you've been following this whole fiasco that I've been attempting here, you've known or seen that we've removed the head. We've done a complete rewire job on it. Did some cooling work. Did some little, I won't even say valve work, but we did take everything apart, and so I'm considering that some work. The ignition is all rewired, and I know that was pretty boring, but we're attempting to do a first start today. So theoretically, we'll see how much fire and all crazy stuff happens here in a few minutes. I do not have any coolant in it at the moment. I just put a little bit of gas in the brand new gas tank in the back, and it appears, knock on wood, that it is not leaking so far, so I must have done something correct. Had to replumb the fuel line because of the crazy buffoonery before had it going all the way around, doing some really crazy stuff that eventually probably would have caused some major issues. And gas leaking on exhaust and stuff like that doesn't always work so well. So anyway, haven't touched the carburetor other than we've hooked it all back up, resealed the bottom end of it, resealed the intake manifold, resealed the exhaust manifold. The exhaust is kind of temped up in there because the exhaust donut was bad, and evidently that is the only exhaust manifold in donut in existence. I'll get it right sooner or later. That does not appear to be capable of obtaining, at least right away. So theoretically tomorrow, sometime in the afternoon, if my auto parts guys understood what I was trying to tell them, I may or may not have an exhaust manifold gasket. So the downpipe is just kind of lined up with the exhaust manifold, so I expect it to be like stupid loud, and this will probably blow everybody away, and who knows what's going to happen. So hopefully we don't have a lot of fire come out here. If we do, I have some fire extinguishers available. I try not to use those because it's really going to be a nasty thing to the engine. So we've got our flames thrower timing light, Go Fast, I don't know, Advanced Auto Special, lined up. I've painted the timing marks with some bright Lullo paint. Theoretically, it's supposed to be bright until we actually try to do this, or if I have something off and it shows up way off kilter here or way off course. But if we do get it going and everything kind of sort of runs all right, we'll attempt to jockey around the timing a little bit. I'll have to get a plug to plug off the carburetor vacuum, so we're not losing vacuum out of the only port that it has for vacuum. We'll eventually put some coolant in it and see if we can get it to run for a little while. Make sure the brand new thermostat that I put in it and the gasket and all that good stuff doesn't pour out everywhere, and see if this upper radiator hose that's pretty scary still holds, and see what other kind of leaks we can find. Now theoretically, it was pouring out white smoke everywhere, and that's why we took the head off in the first place. So our fingers crossed, maybe we've eliminated that problem. Did a light hone on the cylinders. Let's see, what else did I do, because I'm babbling here. Rewired the ignition system. Hopefully I got all that right. Left the fuel pump, but replumbed it. So all right, anyway, I got to get going. So we got gas in the tank. I got a little bit of gas in my back here. I got a little go juice in my squirter bottle. I'm going to try and fill up the if you can still hear me, the float bowl by putting the gas down into the carburetor this way, and we're probably going to make a massive mess here. So well, it's going in so far. No death. Okay, that's probably plenty. So hopefully, after we get it to crank up a little bit, we start seeing some gasohol in there, and by the time it runs out of gas in the bowl, it hopefully will have pumped up some from the tank. If we put the tank pickup unit in this bright spot and all this other good stuff. So I'm going to put the go juice over here so that in the event of flames, that we don't ignite the whole thing on fire. I think I'm going to take our cheater wire off that we had for the ignition timing and go, we'll just use the key. Probably standing right directly in the way. So this, we'll do one final over. Make sure I don't have anything in the way that's going to kill us. I think this stuff may or may not stay put. You guys are going to have to let me know somehow if we shoot flames out and we start fire. Actually, let's just get the fire extinguisher ready. A little insurance. Look at that, it actually has some in it. So I'll put it right here and I'll probably end up tripping over it. So, let's pump it a little bit and see if we can't get any accelerator pump. I don't have the throttle hooked up because I'm still working on wiring that in. Our throttle cable bracket that goes on here hasn't shown up. So let's see if we get anything. Well, I don't really see anything, so we'll just see what happens. Fingers crossed, nothing blows up. Whoa, something sounded really angry there. So we better check and see what's going on here, because something, I don't know if the starter didn't cut out or what. But it sure did puff some smoke out of there, didn't it? We better check and make sure it's got some oil. You think that might be important? Yeah, full of oil. Not sure why something sounded really, really bad there for a minute, but maybe we should try it again. Let's see. Nothing's rubbing on the fan. Maybe the alternator's angry. I'll bust it off one more time. We'll see what happens. Actually, we'll open that choke up just a little bit. Well, I popped the choke right open. Let's see what happens. Tried. And we got to figure out a way to keep this choke shut. I think what we're going to do is actually hook the choke cable up and see if we can't get it to hold. So give me a minute. Let's see if we can get this guy in here. We'll open him up. I think it's supposed to go through there. Maybe. And maybe not. I'm trying to get him to go right through here, but it must fight at all costs. We know how these things go. Let me get a screwdriver. Did I shut the key off? Why, yes, I did shut the key off. So we got a screwdriver. Let's see if we can loosen that up. Of course, I didn't bring a flat screwdriver for the rest of it here. Let's see if I can get that through that hole. Nope, it is. Must fight at all costs. Let me get a regular screwdriver. Hey, at least it fired. Must have done something right. So we'll try to open this up a little bit. Maybe that'll help it go through the hole better. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Watch me stab myself, because that's how things typically work. It's in there. That's in there. We'll tighten this down just a little bit. It's all the way open. I didn't hook it up because theoretically we live in Florida, it's supposed to be warm, and I thought I could get away with it, but not so much. I do see a little bit of gas in the hole there. That's not tightening up. I think I got a plier somewhere. Let's see if it works. Maybe it'll work. Hey, it did. Should work. So, choke's shut. Maybe we should dribble. Maybe we should pump it a couple times and see what happens. Hey, so a little bit of troubleshooting. Actually, it didn't do anything. I just kept cranking it, and it went away. It may be the timing gears just haven't had oil for a while, but when it ran up, it just went away. I don't like that. I've never heard that. But anyway, we got a new problem. Our fuel line going to the carburetor is angry, and it's peeing. I mean, it's leaking pretty good. So we may have to put a new flare on it, and we got to stop the go juice leaks right down on the exhaust manifold, which is kind of critical. It's kind of important. So once I get that fixed up and got that stopped leaking, and we go crank it again, I'll bring you back again, and we'll see where we're at. But it's making noise. It may not be the best noise, but it's making noise. Okay, so we're back. I decided to put the battery charger on it because I've been playing around and wiring and all this other crazy stuff on that battery for a while. So we're going to let it charge up. I think it's probably a good idea to put some antifreeze in it, maybe, just in case it does run, you know, with that super go fast valve cover that we painted up. I think it's going to be super noisy. What's this little guy doing? Might be something I modified in the past. Got the battery charger on it. Probably should, like I said, put some coolant in it. So that's the next thing we're going to do now and see how much of that leaks out. So I'll get my pan, we'll put it under the front insurance, and then we'll start dumping some coolant in it. That's what you call an angry pan. Look how evil that is. That's like yuck gas out of another tank that I drained out. That's what happens when you leave today's gas in a tank a little too long. Probably need one of those them there funnels to make it a little easier to hit the hole. So get one of those. Funnel. Anti-coolant. So let's see how many leaks we have. This should be exciting. Could be worse. Watching Boss Grease Monkey there dumped 23 of these monsters in to a bus. That's expensive. But I guess if you can have one of those monsters, then you can probably afford some coolant. Is it running out the bottom? Not yet. We got our gas leak fixed, I think. Don't see anything pulling out the bottom. That's because I have my insurance policy there. One. Oh, and a little extra. One. Oh. We can see it in there. Well, I can see it. It's up over the fins. Grandpa used to tell me if you can see it up over the fins, that's pretty happy. But I'm sure it isn't into the block because the thermostat's closed, or at least it's not cycling through. Uh-oh, I hear something. Uh-oh, something's leaking. Where are you coming from? Look at that, the upper radiator hose. Imagine that. Let's see if we can put a little tension on that guy and see if we can get her to stop. My guess is, sure enough, the neck's bad. Go figure. Well, knew there would be something. Should never put antifreeze in there on the first try. There's always something. So now all that expensive antifreeze, nice 50-50 we just bought, is going to have to come back, or at least the majority of it. I had fixed some cracks on the neck, but evidently there's more going on there. Well, we'll let it leak. Let's see if it'll start. So don't laugh. It's pretty close and tight in here. I can't hear very well. So I put on my ears. Let's see what happens. Let's give it a little pumps. I don't think she's ready to run without the accelerator pump. So we got the choke as far as we can get her. She wants to run, maybe. She just don't seem like she's getting the gas right. It runs off the accelerator pump, but not off the rest of it. So I don't know if there's something plugged up in there. We drove it in, but it's not smoking. We'll keep going. Maybe it'll pick up. Maybe not. She run. I think our timing's off a little bit. So we'll turn her back a little further. She's making a lot of fire out the exhaust manifold. It's kind of scary. I think it's running a little, the timing's off a little. I'm trying to figure out which way it's going. But stuff's starting to cycle. Shooting a lot of fire down here. It's kind of scary looking, if I haven't said that already. But let's see what happens. We'll run it some more. We're getting there. He's not happy. So she is a runner, but it's not very happy. So if anybody remembers when I was putting it back together and I said something to the nature of it ran before, so we're not going to mess with the carburetor, that's probably where I should have shut up and not said anything. So I'm pretty sure that while I had the carburetor off, I probably disturbed some junk while that was in it because I had tipped it over a little bit. And all of that junk probably plugged up a jet somewhere, because it'll run without or with the choke and that's it. As soon as you close that choke, it's instantly dead. Plus, it's like stupid loud right now. So anyway, I'm probably going to wrap it up with this one at the moment. Tomorrow we get the donut. I'll take the carburetor apart and see if we can find something in that jet. The radiator's shook. It's leaking all around the top neck here, but good news is temperature gauge worked. Electronic temperature gauge works because we have two of them. So the alternator worked. Good oil pressure, and it was running. You know, it was just a timing issue before, but that combined with the carburetor having some crap in the main jet would only allow it to run off the choke. So there is some people that will, you know, rev it up and put their hand over it and try to get that crap out of there. I'm not saying I'm not that brave. I've got it this far apart. There's junk in there evidently, so let's see if I can't get it all the way out and fix that stuff the right way, or at least, you know, that way I know that it's good and clean. So what else we got going on? I played around with the timing a little bit, as much as I could, with the advance hooked up. So I kind of played around with it. It's running like crap, of course, because it's not running off that main jet. So, but it didn't smoke, and I think we burned off the crap off the intake manifold, so that smoke stopped, and we didn't burn anything up. That's always an awesome thing. So let's see where we're at. It's hot right now, can't do a whole lot with it. I see back here on one of the heater hoses, it's got a little shut-off valve, and of course that's leaking too. Maybe it's just not open all the way up or closed all the way. So we're gonna mess around with that. Gas tank's in it. Got the leak stopped on the fuel line here, but of course I gotta take all that back apart anyway. So that's about it for now. I want to thank you for hanging out with Wrenching with Rob. I can't even speak anymore. And hanging around watching all this crap that I'm trying to do here and make this Jeep come back alive again. It was alive a little bit before, and now it's mechanically, by the time we get done, this thing should be in pretty good shape. The body will be the next issue to address, and that I'm hands off on that one. Nope, I don't do body work. I can't stand it. So again, thank you for hanging out with Wrenching with Rob. Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Tell friends about all this craziness that I'm doing, and you know, maybe somebody else can laugh along on the other side. Comment if you'd like to, regardless if you hated it or if I talk too much, you don't like it, or if you learned something. So appreciate it, and everybody have a good weekend or whatever day you're watching this, and come back for more. Thanks. Have a good one.